One of the oddest and most notorious stories about early modern playhouses and their locations involves Shakespeare's company, the Chamberlain's Men. On the 28th of December 1598, a group of men assembled in Shoreditch to dismantle one of London's first purpose-built playhouses, the theatre. This was the culmination of a bitter dispute between the man who owned the land on which the theatre was built, Giles Allen, and Cuthbert and Richard Burbage, whose father James had originally had it constructed around 1576. Playhouses were thought by some people in late 16th century London to be sites of disorderly behaviour, and some even thought the plays were themselves immoral. Perhaps as a result of such fears, Giles Allen seems to have become increasingly uneasy about the performance of plays on his property. In the late 1590s, he insisted on changes to the Burbages' lease, which had expired, and Richard and Cuthbert Burbage seem eventually to have lost patience with him. According to Allen, a group of around 12 men, who included the Burbages, the carpenter Peter Street, a friend called William Smythe, and divers other persons, arrived with tools and weapons and disassembled the theatre. They then moved the best of its structural and decorative timbers across the River Thames to Southwark, where they eventually built a new playhouse, the Globe, which opened in autumn 1599. Within weeks, if not days, of the dismantling of the theatre, a furious Giles Allen was suing the carpenter Peter Street, leading to a series of lawsuits that stretched across 3 different law courts. You're looking at images of a document from one of these suits, in which Allen sued Cuthbert and some of his supporters in the Court of Star Chamber in 1601. Allen uses emotive language, saying that Cuthbert and his associates did riotously assemble themselves together and then and there armed themselves with divers and many unlawful and offensive weapons, pulling, breaking and throwing down the said theatre in very outrageous, violent and riotous sort. Allen may, however, be exaggerating the level of violence. The Court of Star Chamber typically dealt with cases involving riot, public disorder and dispute, and Allen's specific accusations seem to be shaped by his need to convince the court that Cuthbert had used violence. The dismantling of the theatre is significant for several reasons. First, it shows the importance of the locations of the playhouses. When the Burbages wanted to move their playhouse, they did not pick a new district at random. Instead, they selected an area that was both outside the control of the City of London and already in possession of playhouses, the Swan and the Rose. Second, the lawsuits that surrounded the dismantling tell us a good deal about the structure of the theatre and the materials used to build it, and about the interactions between the different kinds of people involved with the process of putting on plays: landlords, theatre owners, craftsmen, and last but not least, actors. Third, the lawsuits surrounding the dismantling are typical of the kinds of sources that theatre historians use when they try to work out what happened at key moments in the careers of Shakespeare and his contemporaries. They can be fragmentary and contradictory, and they often involve half-truths, if not outrageous lies. However, they can simultaneously give us a vivid picture of the human interactions on which the theatre industry was based.